Jargon. In this video, we're going to define jargon and identify the jargon in passages. So what is jargon? Jargon are words that are specific for the topic or context. So they're not generally used outside the topic or the context that we're referring to. So an example of it, we're looking at the idea of gaming here. And for this, sorry guys, I do need to read. Online games refer to games that are played over some form of computer network, most often the internet. Online games can range from simple text-based games to games incorporating complex graphics and virtual world populated by many players simultaneously. They are distinct from video and computer games in that they are normally platform independent, relying solely on client-side technologies. Normally, all that's required to play internet games are a web browser and the appropriate plugin. I did not type that. This is not my interest levels, just letting you know. But when we're looking at jargon, we're looking for the text or the context-specific words, and those are highlighted. So we've got computer network, computer-based games, complex graphics, virtual worlds, platform-independent, client-side technologies, web browsers, and plugins. Those are words that outside of talking about gaming or online things, you would not typically hear those phrases. So they are words not generally used outside of those topics. This is another example of jargon looking at a scrum in rugby. The scrum is a means of restarting play after a stoppage which has been caused by a minor infringement of the laws, such as a forward pass or knock-on, or the ball becoming unplayable in a ruck or maul. The scrum serves to concentrate all of the forwards and the scrum halves in one place on the field, providing an opportunity for the backs to mount an attack using the space created elsewhere. So here the highlighted words again are the examples of jargon. You wouldn't typically hear the word scrum or mounting an attack or a minor infringement referring to rugby, or ruck or maul or stoppage outside of sporting or rugby context. Another example of jargon is in the following text. In the early 20th century, equestrian events were introduced into the Olympics. Some of these events are still seen today. These events are dressage, show jumping, and eventing. Some equestrian events which are not in the Olympics are combined driving, endurance, reining, and vaulting. Some equestrian competitions are under saddle, thoroughbred horse racing, steeplechasing, American quarter horse, Arabian horses, akaltuku and Appaloosas, American paint horsing, endurance riding, and ride and tie. There is also harness racing, which is done all over Europe, New Zealand, and Australia. The words that are highlighted are all the examples of jargon in equestrian. So the words that really, I can't really think of many other reasons for them to be heard anywhere other than vaulting, maybe in gymnastics. But most of those are specific to equestrian and horses. One more example is the idea of marketing in Facebook, and this is an infographic. So the word marketing can be used a lot, but in this case it's jargon. We've got the idea of posting, promotion, and links, spam, overposting, and oversharing. Now these words are really not common elsewhere, okay, other than social media and those sorts of instances, making them direct examples of jargon. Now jargon works just like expert advice. It convinces the audience that the author of this, if they're using these words, know exactly what they're talking about. So are you still confused? If you are, I'll do a quick recap. So jargon is the use of contextualized words that are only within certain topics. They are words that are usually found only when discussing one specific thing.